Fuck is good, Splash? Give me a second. All right.
Toasty!
What up, everybody? Where my headset at? All right, it's a chill day today. All right. About to watch this Diary of a CEO with my nigga Rest 32 on it. If you're on YouTube and you get that like button, that would mean a lot. I know I got some people that are watching this on Twitch. Shout out to everybody on Twitch. I see you in the comments. You already know the fucking vibes. What did you just write? I heard Digga's new album, song Amelia. Is it fire? Is it fire? Is it fire though? Is it fire though? Is it fire though? That's all that really matters. What's good with you, bro? Augmentin', I'm chilling, dog. Chilling. Same old, my guy. Same old, same old. Same old shit, just a different day, you heard? Fire, must listen to. Bet. I'll give that shit a listen to later. I'll do that on stream on Friday. We gonna be live Friday. Friday should be a good day. Shout out to all y'all niggas. Thank you for pulling up. I'm about to start watching this shit because I'm just, you know, I fuck with Wrecth and I want to see what this is about. If it's boring, I'll cut it off. If it's cool, I'll watch it. Let me know what y'all think. I also want to bring different types of content. I know YouTube doesn't let me play music, so that's where I'm a multi-stream and do shit like this on just a random ass day. So I'm putting up different type of content on YouTube as well. So we about to watch this. Dario, the CEO. I'm stopping the beat in the background. Stopping the beat in the background. Again, if you're on YouTube and you're watching it live on YouTube, please hit that like button. It will let the more people know that I'm live watching some shit. So do that. Also, if you're interested in seeing other type of interviews, like watching interviews and shit like that with me, we can set this shit up and do this shit every now and then. You feel me? Because I'm with that type of time. So here we go. Let's listen and see what the fuck this is about. I've seen little clips, but I don't really know what's going on.
Please hit the follow or subscribe button. It helps more than you know. And we invite subscribers in every month to watch the show in person.
Music is Game of Thrones, bro. You see Game
Facts.
of Thrones, they kill the main character. Do you get what I'm saying? They don't mind doing that.
Wembley makes some noise for Wrecth feature.
Together we're gonna make history. I think the best turning point for me was when I was 16 and my mum threw me out. She feels like it was
I've been there.
a harsh thing to do, but I'm like, at the end of the day, if you don't do that for me at 16, I don't become rich. We signed for a single, which was Tractor.
That was my ringtone.
Twin said to me,
I hate that fucking song, but I did not know that that's what you signed for. So if that's how you got your foot in the door, I fuck with it.
like, this song's gonna change your life. And then yeah, bam, it goes in the charts and everything changed after that. The obsession made me better, made me more hungry. When you find your passion, yeah, you find your calling. You're not there to know. Everyone comes second. Bro. My daughter, she has no recognition of living in it. I just became a monster, man. You can't skip what's important, man. How many, we get 80 years maybe now, the legacy can triple that, bro. Have the right one.
What if it just hadn't worked out?
Had to.
So without further ado, I'm Stephen Bartlett, and this is the Diary of a CEO. I hope nobody's listening, but if you are, then please keep this to yourself.
That was a corny ass punchline. I hope nobody's listening. What, nigga? What?
Take me back to Tottenham when you were growing up. I'm a big believer, and to be honest, I always start this podcast in the same way, because I came to learn when I was younger the importance of those early years on shaping who we become as adults. And someone said this wonderful quote to me, that we're actually just children living out the stories we told ourselves about ourselves long ago. So take me back to Tottenham, where you grew up, and the context in which made you the man you are today.
Grew up in Seven Sisters in a estate called Tiverton. Tottenham was just notorious.
Can hear the AC in the background.
Just like that. And I think for me, just growing up and learning how to navigate through that, how to understand who you are, what you're here for, and also my parents and grandparents and all that, they were proper embedded in, you know, fighting against police brutality. So I always had a lot of understanding about certain things that were probably above my age. I feel like I was always someone that could get along with everyone. Like whether cool kid, uncool kid, whatever, like I could always have something to speak about with anyone. And I think throughout life that's always helped me and it's always been beneficial, but it definitely started when I was young. In the estate, just like the regular stuff, man, that was happening. Do you get what I'm saying? Like a lot of badness, stabbings, a lot of this, a lot of that. But we just, when we were very young, we just wanted to play football. You know what I mean? Wanted to play out, play football, play games. But as you get older, you know, you start seeing other things, hearing other things, and sometimes even, not even, I wouldn't say not unwillingly, sometimes you become a part of things because you're there on the day, or you're there at that time. And I think a lot of them early scenarios kind of shaped who I thought I was going to become. at that time.
Mm-hmm.
The best turning point for me was when I was 16 and my mum threw me out.
Son, I've been there.
I now had to be the adult that I thought I was. So before that, I was, you know, walking around the house, had a bravado, had an attitude, thought I was a big man, thought I was a bad boy, thought I was whatever. And, you know, all the time my mum's kind of like, single mum, you know, there's, at that time there's two older sisters and 2 younger sisters and myself in the house. And just like, at that time, just feeling like I'm feeling myself a bit too much. And my mum was always like, look, I know you feel you're beyond your years, but you're not. You're actually 15 or you're actually 14. And if you continue moving like this, you're going to be forced to be 21 at 16. Obviously, as a youth, you're not really taking that in, taking it.
Not listening to that shit
One
at
day I
all.
come home and my bags are on the door. So I'm kind of like, all right, cool. And I'm like mad prideful as well. So at the time, my sisters were like, look, just have a conversation with her. She's
Nah,
gonna
fuck
sort it
that
out,
shit,
just
I'm
calm
out.
down a bit, whatever. But I'm just feeling myself still too much. So I'm kind of just like, whatever, I took my bags, went to my cousin's house for a little while. Then I just felt like I was just in other people's space. Obviously they're family, but I just felt like I'm in the way. I don't like feeling like that. Went to my sister's, still did feel like I was in the way. Even though to her she'll say I wasn't, but like I just don't want to be a burden to anyone. So then yeah, just went to the housing and then, yeah, 16 years old, I was in my place and I learned so much, man. And I think that's the best thing anyone's ever done for me in my life.
Why did she throw you out?
You got a crib just by going to a housing?
I was too
That simple?
vibey, man. I just thought I was too I thought I was it. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think as well, it's like when you think you're it and you're making a little money on the roads and whatever, and you're giving someone money here and there, you're thinking you're doing your part. So maybe I give you £200 this month, maybe next month I don't give you anything. Maybe the next month I give you £1,000, maybe the next 2 months I don't give you anything. But I'm always reverting back to the fact that, yeah, but I gave you, or yeah, but I done this, or yeah, but I done that. But what you don't realize until you're an adult is every month the bills are coming.
Facts.
They don't come staggered like you're giving the money. So it's not like she can't just pay £600 rent in January and nothing in February. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, but you don't have that understanding as a child. You need to be an adult to have that understanding. Like these bills are coming regardless. And I think even though she was saying it to me, I was still, you know, like you're still calculating what you're giving. Like, no, but I gave, or but I done this, or I done that. It's not enough. The bills don't work like that. Being
Facts.
16 and learning them harsh lessons, it's just harsh reality.
Makes
And
you
I'm
a
just
man.
like, oh, I actually thought I was a big man, and it's like years. Like I was angry with my mum for a bit at the time, as you would be.
Not speaking to her.
Kind of trying to be like that. But you know, like letters are still going there, so you're still going there. Ask my sister, yo, give me the letters, bring out the letters. Don't really want to go in, whatever. Still, you know, being attached to pride and being attached to too much attitude, and I just had to like humble myself one day, and I just be like, do you know what, mum, that was the best thing anyone's ever done for me. And she was like, to this day, like when she hears me say it, it still upsets her because she feels like it was, you know, a harsh thing to do. But I'm
Mom
like,
do
at the end of
saying
the
want to
day,
do
don't
that shit.
For me at 16, I don't become rich at
Facts.
20 odd because it's too comfortable. Wretch comes out of being uncomfortable, being backed in a corner, being forced to be, you know, to be a provider, being forced to be the man of his house rather than thinking he's the man of his mum's house.
The man of your house. Did you know your father?
Yeah.
Did you have a relationship?
Yeah. My dad's was very serious, man. Very serious. Very strict. Very well respected because of, you know, in the area with all the police brutality and all of that, all the things that they fought for and still fight for. Him, my uncle, and my nan. But just very harsh. Very harsh. And the DJ as well. So old school, you remember they used to string up sound systems. Like my mum's house, like all the speakers throughout the passage, one of the rooms, all the speakers, like all of us had to share because the speakers had their own room. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, mum, can't I at least sleep in the speaker? Like I'm sharing with my sisters, I need a little space or whatever. But yeah, good relationship. Obviously him and my mum parted ways. And still kept a relationship. Like I don't have that I don't know my dad thing. Like I know my dad, yeah.
And your grandmother? one of the things you said about her was that watching her take care of your grandfather who had cancer.
Yeah.
God damn.
Was a really pivotal moment, watching how
Yeah.
sort of caring she was with him, and right up until the point that he passed away.
You know, like when you're young, your first experiences of death are like so severe, man. Like so impactful. Not that it gets any easier, but you understand it more, I think, when you get older. And I just think at the time, I've never understood strength until I met that situation with my grandma, and it was just how she was, you know, like Caribbean. So when I'd come around, she's like, make sure you come back again, you know, because I'm soon dead. And I'm saying, you're saying to me he's soon dead, like he's not gonna die. I don't even understand the severity of cancer as young as I was at that time. She's like, yeah man, I'm soon dead, man. He's like, and all my friends that he liked, she's like, make sure you bring them to say goodbye. And I'm like, say goodbye? Like, what the hell, this, like, everything's cool. But it's like, she's saying it to me like that, but my mum and my dad, they're not like explaining the severity of the situation to me. They're not saying like, there's a countdown. So I've got my aunt saying like, yo, we're giving him organic food, we're doing this. So I'm thinking, yo, we're fighting it. But every time I'm going back, it's like, he's becoming like, I don't know, less and less and smaller. And now I can see it, but I'm still, I don't know, I guess the word's naive, innit? Like you're very hopeful and you're naive, thinking, no, it's gonna be cool. Because to be fair, he'd been saying he was sick for years, but he was undiagnosed, he was ill, but we didn't know. When he went to the doctor, he died. Once he got diagnosed, it's a countdown now. So I don't know if mentally something happens there, I don't know if how it works, but just watching her, you know, through when he became in.
That shit is kind of spooky how that happens too, bro. We'll talk.
Him, feeding him, just being there the whole way through. I was just like, that to me was the real definition of a marriage. That is, you know, sickness and health. Do you get what I'm saying? That is death do us part. That was literally till death do us part. And I'm like, I don't know if I'd ever see that level of strength again.
The other thing that I really stuck out
Sup,
to me
Estacio?
as I was reading through your backstory was that moment when you're 9 and a car comes up next to you.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. What happened what did that teach you?
At that point, like, Tottenham was warring with a lot of surrounding areas, innit? So it was like Ford Fiestas back then, tinted cars rolling through the estate, just looking for whoever they're looking for, but I live in the middle of it. And being young, but being tall. And remember back then, when everyone's warring with each other, like now we have the internet, so everyone knows who everyone is, what everyone looks like, whatever. Back then, nobody didn't. It was just a description, like, he's dark-skinned and skinny. Do you get what I'm saying? So they come in looking for a dark-skinned and skinny guy, but I'm 9, and I'm getting shot. And then I remember the car was breezing up to me. And I'm thinking, right, why is it driving like that? Skids. Wind down the window, and then I look in the car, I'm like, right. But it's just like, nah, and then drive off. And I just thought, bro, like, what the hell? Like, just thought, imagine if I ran, like, cause you know, like for a second I was gonna run, like, I was thinking, right, the car's, cause it's driving towards me, I can run that way, he ain't gonna be able to spin around. But I just remember thinking, like, I haven't even done anything. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, first of all. But then when it stopped and then done that, I was just like, let's drive off. And I think that thing there made me feel like it's probably better to be involved than to not.
Oh shit.
At the time. Do you get what I'm saying? Because
yeah.
at the time I'm not involved. I'm actually just a clean-hearted, good youth. I just play football and computer, that's it. Do you get what I'm saying? So when that happened, it made me feel like, right, that could have happened to me for no reason. Like, I might as well give you a reason. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
someone could have done something.
yeah, something could have, like, I could have been shot, whatever they was gonna do. And I think that kind of put a chip on my shoulder. Do you know what I mean? For the next couple of years, which obviously is what led to my mum feeling like, now you're feeling yourself a bit too much. Go and fly the nest. Like, if you don't push the bird out the nest, it won't fly. You know, if you're not thrown in the water, you don't have to swim, kind of thing.
And a lot of men, I mean, this happens not just on the estate, but men that don't grow up in such circumstances, they start using that like bravado as a form of self-defense, but it ends up inflicting self-harm in some way. I mean, that's what you tend to see with a lot of gangs, right? You join to defend yourself or to try and fit in, but it leads you down a path of self-harm.
Yeah, because you go from, I'm doing this to fight back.
Yeah.
And then you go from fighting back in the form of defense to offense now. Because it's gone from, I'm just defending myself to now I'm out in a club, or I'm out somewhere. And now you're getting into situations with people that you feel look like you might end up in a situation with. So now it's just happening now.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
really, if you both were just defending yourselves, then you can be cool to walk past each other or be in the same club at the same time or whatever. I think a lot of like
Niggas put
things
up that
being
front
unsaid
for no reason.
when things ain't clear, like you're in, just because you're in an environment and you feel
YouTube, hit that like button, you heard? It
anyone in the
helps.
environment, but because there's no clarity,
Yeah.
because they haven't said we don't have nothing with you and you haven't said we don't have nothing with you, it's just tense.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's life, right? Relationships,
you know what I mean?
business, communication and stuff.
Yeah, and there's just a little
Yeah.
tenseness, and it's like, why is it tense? And then, depending on how the ice breaks, do you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
If it breaks the right way, it's cool. If it breaks the wrong way, then it's just erupting into something that didn't even exist
Yeah.
in the first place.
And at that age, what did you want to be when you grew up? What was the aspiration?
Probably
Football.
wanted to be Ian Wright.
Had to be
Realised early on
football.
that ain't gonna happen. I liked music. I didn't want to be a musician though.
Why?
It didn't seem realistic.
You didn't know anyone in your tribal circle that had gotten
Yeah,
there?
it was like the musicians were like
Other people.
Jay-Z.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
or,
yeah.
do you know what I'm saying? Tupac or Nas. Like that was somewhere else. So it's like, yeah, you can do it for fun. So we do it for fun. We write whatever, record on tapes, blah blah blah. But I never thought like this could be a career. I could make money from this. I could live in this space. So I guess like I was into trying to understand what else happens outside my estate. Because also what happens, you feel like your family, your friends become your family in the estate. The sweet shop is basically a supermarket. So you don't need to leave. You just move from house to house.
House to house to
Then we're
house.
all outside, we play football. Then
And
it's
that's a
9 p.m,
problem.
Ice bowls. Then everyone goes home, we do it again tomorrow.
The world
Just
is bigger
end
than your block,
up in a
nigga.
cycle of that. But then someone told me, actually I saw one of my friends in an advert, a guy from my estate called Frank, yeah, he was in a Lexus advert as a kid, and I was like, when he come on the telly, I was like, Mom, that's Francis. Like, he was over there. I said, Frank. When I saw him, I said, Frank, how did you get in an advert? He was like, I've got an agent. I was like, is it? How did you get an agent? He was like, there's a newspaper that comes out every Thursday called The Stage. So he's like, buy The Stage, it costs £1, but it just shows you so much different things. So I used to buy that newspaper, yeah, just to see, like, what else can happen, like, what else is there. And there used to be, like, auditions.
Still
or,
showing self-motivation.
I'd never really go to any, but I think, like, I was just intrigued about, like, what else exists, like, what other people are doing. Then I'd see something about the Brit School. I'm like, wow, I wonder what that is. Like, all these things that we don't know nothing about. Anna Shears, I used to see Sylvia Young, all these things in the paper, but there was always a price, a cost, like, sign up for this, or pay for the portfolio, or whatever. And I, obviously at, like, 11, 12, 13, yeah, you can't, you know what I mean? My mum, she's not gonna, there's too many of us to ask for that. We need school uniform first and foremost. Everything else is secondary. So, yeah.
How old were you when you decided that you were going to like record a mixtape and like publish it and try and sell it? 2006 when it came out,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
2006, Learn From My Mixtape came out. That's my first CD, 24 songs on there.
06?
I tried getting it on Spotify, I couldn't.
Nah, it's not. It's not. I need to, I need to get it up on there. People ask, but I think there might be 1 or 2 American beats,
Right.
so that's why we're struggling with that. But yeah, man, I think at that point I'd been on pirate radio, been on Heat FM, and I was just.
I
like,
keep hearing about this pirate radio
Then I
shit. I
became
might have to look that up.
I was obsessed. I was just like, I need to go studio as much as I can. Everything I was doing was to put into being able to record. And then once I had 7 or 8 CDs with about
Risky Roads.
9 songs on each, I was like, wow, I've got like 50, 60 something songs. Like, this is mad. Maybe I should just do
Send me sign Estacio from
projects.
Risky
And then
Roads,
I came up
bro.
with
I'll
the
look
idea
into it.
for my mixtape because I wanted it to be like quite educational, like not in a school way, but in a streets way. Like I always wanted to like educate the youths and let them know there was other ways of doing things, kind of thing. That's always been my thing. So yeah, came up with that, made that project. The funny thing about that CD is that you give it to the guy to press up, pay your £600 or £700, and then he presses it up. But back then they were so long. You're ringing him every Friday. Has it arrived? No, it's not arrived yet. Ringing. So the day my son's born, I'm in the hospital. I get a phone call, and it's the guy, and I'm like, the baby's born, healthy, everything's cool. Answer the phone. He's like, the CDs are here. Come now, because he's not. I don't know. I don't remember if it was a Friday, but he wasn't in tomorrow. He wasn't in for the next 2 days. So it was like, come now. So obviously I'll come off the phone. I'm in the hospital holding my son. So like his mom's looked at me and she's like, who was that? I was like, yeah man, the CDs are here. But she knows that this is my thing. So this is like, but this is the thing when you make music. You're obsessed, bro. You're obsessed. So I'm like looking at my watch, like, you know what I'm saying? And she's like,
Nigga, just
she
go.
just looks at me and she goes, to go and get the CDs, man. Just go and get the CDs. I'm like, thank you, man. You can give it back, my son. Jumped in the car, ripped to Croydon, picked up 1,000 CDs.
1,000?
1,000.
You
bro.
got them all in the car?
1,000. All in the car, bro. 1,000. Like, seats. 2 of us in the car, seats down. Cut, like, 1,000. It takes up bare space as well. Got them back. So then, like, just put them in the hallway. Went and picked them up. Brought her home, and she was just like, you need to get these out of this house. Because now there's a buggy, there's Moses basket, there's all of this stuff. I'm just like, I'm just feeling mad pressure. I'm just like, bro, it was just fun and exciting, man. It was like my life was born.
And my son was born.
I just felt like a new energy. I was re-energized, and I just wanted to go, man. So it was like, spent the next couple weeks doing the sailing return. So it's like,
so you take them to a shop. If they don't sell them, they give them back.
Bro. And at that point, I don't care about the money, bro. I just want to be heard. Like, someone drove past me and they were playing my CD, bro. You can't tell me I'm not Jay-Z back then. When I heard that, and I don't know the person, normally you know them, I'm like, bro, he doesn't even know it's me. He's driven past me, I'm like, yeah, this is happening, we're growing. So yeah, just re-energize, man. And Sailing Return is long because you're no one. The shop
send all those pirate shits. I'll clock
so
it.
like, yeah, we'll take 5. I'm like, my guy, I have
5 of 1,000,
take
nigga.
50, bro. I won't even come back for the money. I swear to you, bro. Like, I'm cool, bro. He was like, nah, give me 10, bro. You know what I'm doing? Just to get rid of them. I'll buy the 10 back, yeah. And then he'll call me and he'll be like, yeah, the 10 went fast, you know. Like, I'll make someone else do it. The 10 went fast. Don't lie. What do you want? You want the 50 now? Yeah, bring the 50. Yeah, we got 50 for you coming.
So you get a friend to go in and buy the CDs.
Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? So now I can go.
Wu-Tang did the same shit,
That's
nigga.
half a box out, bro. This was taking up so much space. So yeah, doing that. Oxford Circus, Birmingham, Croydon, like all the music shops, and yeah, it was different time, innit?
When you were running around shooting those CDs, what were you doing for money? Because I'm sure that wasn't covering the bills, right?
Nah, me and my manager, he's my manager now. He's always been my brethren, like my right hand. We just
Solid.
every penny we made from anything, we just put it together and put it in this and put it in this. So it was like, sometimes we'd go back for the Sailing Return as well, so we'd get a little drips and drabs there, this and that, and just literally just sharing money. It's like we had one bank account, if I'm honest. Like we were just sharing, like anything. What do we need? Then we needed to do a video. How much does a video cost? 2,500. Whoa. All right, cool. But now, at the time, like my son's mum's like, yo, we need buggy. Let's say we need a buggy, but it's like I need to do a video. It was like I felt like I was always
Trying to decide between a buggy or a video.
yeah, bro. Like you feel so guilty, but you know, it made me understand. It made me understand, like the need and the obsession and the love I have for this thing, because I'm actually always comparing it. Like, it sounds mad to hear me say, but it's just, when it's your purpose, bro. Every single month we're growing. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And when it gets to that point, we'll have how many buggies? Do you get what I'm saying? We have the best cot, everything. It'll be able to
Give it whatever the hell we want
you
to
get what I'm
get.
saying? We'll put the baby to sleep, whatever. You know what I mean? SMA champagne. So yeah, but that was when I was understanding that you've actually got some kind of obsession or some deep-rooted love for
You
this
gotta
thing
be
that
obsessed
should
in order
probably
to
not
make
be
it.
like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what you're weighing up against the other thing, but it just was, man.
How long were you in that phase of like trying to give people your CDs, and like how in years or months, how long was that phase where like people weren't? Because I was watching the Kanye Netflix documentary recently.
Cold,
and it reminded me of that you got that young man who believed in himself more than anyone else did. You see that scene where he plays like,
bro, it all falls down.
All falls down, and she's not paying attention to it.
She goes on the phone.
Yeah.
She's on the phone.
She's intentionally trying to
What?
tell him to piss off by like ignoring him.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. Like, so how long
That
was
bitch needs to be fired, by the way.
journey just like selling them CDs?
She better be fired.
I think so. If this first CD came out 2006, I reckon since like 2003, I'd been giving out music. But what I was always very clever at, like I always wanted everyone to like my music. So I had different CDs with different songs on. So I'd have like a CD with 10 grime songs, a CD with 10 love songs, a CD with 5 songs about trying to turn your life around. I just had different CDs. And what I'd do, I'd give the CD to each person as to what I think they would like. So I give the man them that one. But what was happening is that I gave a man that, and then I gave his sister a different one. But his sister was like, yeah, but my brother's got one that's got different songs on. But I'm like, I don't think you'd like that. So it was like, I was always just, I had enough music to please everyone. But then everyone wanted the other songs as well. So that kind of made me decide that, you know what, if you put everything on 24 songs, then maybe they can all be centered to this disc. And it can start there, and it worked. Yeah.
24 songs
I had
is
a
a
few words
lot
to say
of
about one of my
fucking
sponsors on this
songs.
podcast. My girlfriend came upstairs yesterday.
We're skipping that.
2003, 2006, you were trying to move them CDs. Mixtape comes out 2006.
Yeah.
But what were you using as metrics to figure out if it was actually working?
Bro, if I heard my song on the radio, we was winning. Every time I heard it, I was like, cool. And my manager, we are yin and yang. Like, I'm all creative, and this guy is all genius in another way. So he would be like, I'd go to his house, and he'd be like, all right, cool. We're going to this show in Nottingham. These people are performing. When you see this guy, he thinks he knows you, yeah? Because I've messaged him off your account, and you lot have had a conversation. So just make sure you say hello to him. It's like, how do you even know who's who? But he'd already engineered some idea, and so then we were like proper, like the first station to proper, like really show us mad love was like One Extra. So it's like DJ Cameo, Ace and Beers, like all these Ras Kwame, all these Twin B, like all these people were just showing mad love. Like, come in, man, do an interview. And like, I like to think I'm likable. People like to conversate, so we're talking, and then
Me too, nigga.
this guy will introduce me to a producer. Then the producer will introduce me to the next person. Then we found out about press and PR. We started working with a guy called Charlie at Visions. And he was like, yeah, you pay us £500 a month and we can get you in magazines. Like, right, magazines, crazy. Like, it was just like, everything was just one person away. So each person introduced us to a different person. And that's how I was measuring the growth. So I'm like, I can come back and I'm like, yo, man, I just met this guy, man. He shoots videos. Or I met this guy, he does PR. I met this guy, he's a photographer. Like, and she was, in her head, she's probably thinking, oh, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, what's the photographer gonna do? But I'm like, it's another step. Each step, each step, each step. One hand is washing the other, and we will wash the whole body, I promise.
It's
You know what I
sociable
mean?
like my cousin H. This nigga's stupid.
In that phase, you're starting to get these radio plays. And
YouTube, hit that like button so people can see this. Thanks in advance, you already.
Was there, and I'm sure you get asked this a lot, but was there a moment when even your partner at the time said to you, do you know what? I think, or you could see it, because sometimes they don't say it, you can see it in their face.
Yeah.
Maybe when they hear it on the radio, they see, you know.
Yeah, I always knew that I was ticking her off, man. Like, in that, just not in that aspect. Because even like, at them times I used to write at home. Bro, I don't know if you've lived with a musician or been around a musician, bro. That beat is on loop for hours. You get what I'm
Facts.
saying? And all I would hear, like,
And that shit is annoying to somebody else.
like as if it's
This nigga still hearing this?
And I just was like, you know what? I need to just start working in the studio, like, because this, like, it's not fair. Like, it's, when you find your passion, you find your calling. Bro. You're not fair to no one. You're only fair to yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? You're not fair to anyone. Everyone comes second, bro. Everyone, and it's not intentional. It just is what it is. So, me thinking that I'm spending time with her because I'm writing in the house, even though I'm not talking to her, the song's just on loop, and I'm writing. I'm thinking I'm spending time. I ain't spending time. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just being present. So it's like,
I have
Then
this
it's like in my
argument
head,
all
I'm
the
thinking,
damn
I'm in the
time.
studio. Yeah, I was better that I'm
At home.
I look at the Lord of the Mics. I think I seen a little bit of
it's
one of the Lord of the
actually
Mics.
all about me, bro. It was only all about me, my calling, and making this music. This is my like. I wake up every day. I think music. Before I go to sleep, I think music. I used to have a dream that happened every time, and in the dream, I'm in the studio and I'm writing a verse, and I'd wake up and I'm like, I can never remember the verse. And I'm trying to remember. One day I woke up, I'm like, I had a pen and paper by my bed. I left it there. I wrote out the verse that I wrote in my dream. I was like, bro, this is like, to me, I'm like, I'm believing in this now. I'm like, this has to be fate or something. Like, this has to be engineered by someone higher than you, man. Like, from your writing in your sleep, literally. So just going and going and going.
I want to get up to the point when you released Black and White in 2011.
Yeah.
What happens between that mixtape coming out in 2006 to 2011? What are the most significant moments or pivotal moments where things took a turn in a good direction?
Okay, like more exposure and little things happening here and there. Like MTV asked us to do something for Black History Month. It was like a freestyle. That was
Word?
strong because it showed people I could write, perform, stick to topic. Then One Extra gave us an award for getting, I think one of our records was the most played.
Right.
So it was like, that was quite cool, like most street heat, that was DJ Semtex.
Is that punctuation?
I think it was Punctuation, yeah, Punctuation. Getting a lot more bookings. And Twin B from One Extra. Always having conversations.
Sounds like One Extra held it down for niggas.
Gave me an understanding of the game on the other side, because at the time he was working at Ministry, and he just had so many gems, and he made me understand, because I used to think like, why am I not signed? Like, why was I not signed? Why am I not signed? Am I not good? Or like, it's not about good or great, it's about timing, and it's about
It's definitely
what
about
can a label
timing.
help you do? How can a label help you be bigger? What do you need to achieve before you step into a label? So was it all these conversations, you know, doing loads of collaborations as well. And then Richard Antwi and Twin B, they form a record label called Levels, and they're like, we want to sign you, man. And I'm like, wow, okay, like what happens now kind of thing. It's like, now you need a lawyer, now you need, you know, all these other things. And it was just like, once it got to that point.
Sound like it took this nigga like 10 years to get signed.
Richard Antwi had
Crazy.
Dell, so many different people. Do you get what I'm saying? And I knew that this guy was serious, Twin, music lover. We'd had endless conversations on the phone about music. And they had their situation with Ministry of Sound.
R.I.P.
So they were
Richard
like a subsidiary of
Antwi.
Ministry of Sound. So it was like,
I hope I said that name right.
you know, and
Thanks for the follow.
And I just knew that that was the right thing to do at the time.
When you get that news that
Yeah.
they want to sign you, what's Ashley saying? Do you come home and you're like, ha!
Yeah,
I made it, nigga. Yeah. Yes, I react to music.
I guess by that point,
GDG Fury on YouTube. I also
me being
react to
about
music
me,
on
the
Fridays,
relationship's not
live
where
on Twitch.
could have been or where it should have been. Do you know what I mean?
Fridays.
So I think by that time we're already,
Going our separate ways.
yeah, kind of drifting apart. But yes, I didn't get to kind of have that.
It was over
But
already.
I think she's, you know, she's happy for me. Always been happy for me. Always knew that this was what I needed to do. She knew that it was a need and not a want. Because of the things, everything I was weighing it up against, she knew that this is a need. Like, this guy needs to do this. Like, he needs it. So, yeah.
And then Black and White.
And then Black and White, yeah. So initially, we signed for a single, which was Tractor.
That was my ringtone
And is that
in
what you-
2012. Yeah.
I was just telling you this. This is the only song I heard from this nigga I don't like.
I did One Day at University before I dropped
I
out.
don't like
Yeah.
Tractor, bro.
My ringtone from day one.
My guy.
Yeah.
We had that record, and Twin said to me, when I put the verses down, he was like, this song's going to change your life.
Really? He said that?
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know how you know that, but you're my guy. So I'm believing in you. And I'm like, I just
Love.
didn't know what would happen next. So I'm still going back to them times when I'd go to the record shops, yeah, and kind of buy back the CDs to give more. So when I'm out in the club, if they're playing the tune, or they're not playing the tune, I'm making sure they play the song. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, yeah, what does it take? What, all the drinks? Cool. I'll order drinks. Play that song when the drinks come. Like, I'm making sure that this song is being heard. We're trying everything. We're not trying to, our thing was always floor to ceiling. We'd make sure we'd covered everything floor to ceiling. And then, yeah, bam, it goes in the charts and literally everything changed.
That shit charted?
Take me through that process.
It's a bad song, bro. I don't like that shit.
I never had a hit.
Everything else I heard from him was fire. I don't like that shit.
You get throughout that week, so say like the song's available to buy on Sunday was back then. So Monday morning, like the labels kind of knows the numbers, innit? So they're kind of like, your number.
Hold on, let me read this real quick. Skepta Wiley, Dirty Goods, and many others all got signed before Wrecth. That just sounds crazy to me. But that was probably because wasn't rowdy, which was the vibe back then. Savagery, rowdy. I mean, that grime shit was really, really popping, right? So, also I thought it was probably a good thing. Goods and Wiley got fucked over by their deals. It happens to everybody with their first deal. Actually, I got some shit I would love for y'all to hear. Not to sidetrack, but I don't know if you heard Mos Def, Talib Kweli, and Dave Chappelle. They have a podcast. There's one episode of this podcast where Talib is talking about music deals in general, and then even talking about today with Spotify, and the way that he broke this shit down is just, I fucking think it's genius. I'd love for y'all to hear that. I think it was pure genius the way he's talking about the music industry and comparing it to how Spotify is moving now. And bro, it's called Bugs Bunny Mathematics, the name of that podcast episode. It was amazing. I heard that shit yesterday. I just want somebody else to hear what I heard. I don't know how I just got to it. But alright, niggas got fucked over. That always happens. Alright, let's go back here.
8. I'm like, raw, number 8. They're like, yeah, but we'll catch 7 and 6, maybe 5. Then the next day it's like, yeah, you're number 6. I'm like, what the hell? Like, and it's just going higher. Then it gets to 4, I think, and it goes back to 5, and it's like, it's 5, and it's like, right, we want to hold in the top 5, and it's just, I don't know. I just think at that time, yeah, you almost step into a vehicle and it just starts moving, and it's like, you know, like when you're driving through an area, you're looking out the window, you're just seeing things, and it's just seeing people, but you're just moving. It was just moving, bro. Like, it was just moving. It was moving, and then
it's mad to me that that's the song that blew up for him. That's mad to me, bro. That's crazy.
Everything was just moving. Everything happened so fast that I don't think I even stopped to take it in at that time. And then it was cool. You done it once. That was one single. Now we want to do an album. What's the next single? It's like, now you've got to do it again. And it's like, I didn't even really know how I done it in the first place, if I'm honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just a cool song, sounded good, and it worked. And then it was just like, okay, make a second single, and then made a second single while making the album, and it was just moving, man. Everything was just, it happens. You know when they say like, you wait your whole life for it to happen overnight? You literally waited a whole life for it to happen overnight, and once it happened, it just didn't stop. It just kept, the ball kept rolling, man.
Were you prepared for it mentally? I don't know, socially, were you prepared for that?
No, nigga.
And drag you off into
no way
your dream like that?
I don't think so, no. But I think luckily, the only thing I wanted to do still
Facts,
was
Edge.
make music. I think if I wanted,
Natural said Tractor was good for
so if I can see
2011.
that kind of
I
like,
guess.
like an artist has a hit,
Ugh, I don't like that song,
just
bro.
all over the papers and just getting involved in different things. I can see how that can happen.
Temptation.
Yeah, because you end up in other places other than where you should be. But for me, it was still always about the studio. Like, I'd go raving, but I'd go raving at 1 o'clock because the engineer's tired or the producer's tired, and we finish. And I don't have the best night's sleep. I don't sleep too well. So it's 1 o'clock, yeah, I'd go out.
That's a creative mind when you can't sleep. I feel you, me too.
I was always in and locked in, so I didn't veer from that. So I think, in a sense, I wasn't prepared for one side of it, but for what I needed to do, I was prepared for, and I was serious about my half of the deal. Yeah.
And then so that album becomes a huge success, a real breakthrough moment for you. And then obviously when the album's done, you have another pressure, right? Which is the expectation of that album, right?
Well, go again. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, flip a coin
Facts.
10 times and get heads, yeah? All right, cool. Now do another 10. Do you get what I'm saying? It's literally like, how am I going to...
Yeah, get heads every time.
Every time. Do you get what I'm saying? Get heads. Go and do it, bro. You done it. Do it. Go. For me, like, making music is the part that I'm in control of. I never feel pressured about that. Never. Because I have what I have to say. I feel what I feel. And I'm going to pour all of that into music. I'm going to pour all of that into the album. No problem. I just think at that time...
Hello, back to you, London.
getting
You know I got
tricky,
love for London.
Ministry was kind of happy that we'd had 3 top 5 singles. And
3 top 5 singles? Hey, on your
more
first
as a
go?
business, more happy to stay in that domain. Like, yeah, let's just churn out the hits. And I think after Black and White and all of that and all the things, like, you know, just I think
That's
I had a
big
lot of
on your first
frustration
shit?
in me and it was
3
it was
top
almost-
5s?
It's almost a side of my life which I saw my uncle and my dad and all of that talking about the police. Like, that side of me was coming out. Whereas I'd always mention it in my music, I just felt like I had something else to say. Do you know what I'm saying? Everything happened with Mark Duggan and all of that, and I was like, I need to speak about what's going on. And I think it was a bit of a difference of opinion. Do you know what I'm saying? Ministry of Sound, when these kind of songs ain't hit records, so it was a bit of...
The label always wants the hits.
Away, you know,
But you gotta be an artist at
and it
a
was
certain
just
point in
about,
time.
You know, getting to the point where we could release that album, which was Growing Over Life, and it was just, for me, it was important that I released that record. Man.
And following Black and White, when you look back on how you reacted and, you know, that tension with the label and stuff like that, in your maturity and wisdom now, do you wish you'd behaved differently following the release of that album and its success? Is there something you wish
Damn,
you
I'm
had
hearing mad RIPs. Is everybody
with
passing?
the wonder of hindsight?
Yeah. Change? Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, because I wasn't aggressive. I just like to understand. I like clarity. And I think what can happen in the industry is not everybody wants to be crystal clear.
Facts.
Whereas it's like, if you're crystal clear with it and say, do you know what, if we can get another Don't Go and another Tractor and another Blackout, then whatever. So it's like, all right, cool. Then you understand an assignment of what you're after. But it's like, if you're not being crystal clear, then it kind of leaves you in limbo. So you're sending in songs. And it's just like...
And they're not being clear about what...
Yeah,
how they
it's
feel
like the
about
feedback's a bit like, don't think this one's a single.
Now the truth is that the music shit is a business to them, and when you make it there and you make money and you want to show your artistic side,
That was what my frustration was like. Just
they fight against you.
But
They
Trini,
trying to make a
obviously,
buck.
Trini
It's
always
real.
always kept it 100. Always was just like, look, if there's any moments where we can, I think they're like, you need to say what you need to say in it. Do you know what I'm saying? And if them other moments,
I heard
where
about
it's fun
that.
and you engineer
Bando
it,
Case Pops.
you know,
That's
and if
crazy.
you're able to do it, you do it. Do you get what I'm saying? There ain't no pressure coming from our way. And I came up with 6 words,
That's crazy.
which was written within that space and within that time, and I was like, all right, cool, I've got one, the one you want. There's the one you want, kind of thing. So yeah, but I think with hindsight, I didn't fly off the handle. I didn't get angry. I didn't get aggressive. It was pointless.
Did you stray away from your principal passion of making music during that phase? Did you find yourself like not showing up obsessed in the studio in the same way after that?
I don't like pause. I do like pausing. Why am I fucking lying? But I'm seeing a lot of people talk about the money and versus the art shit. To be honest, the money, the music artists and labels, not artists, labels is here to make money. They're here to make money. They're here to make money. We all know it. We all know it. So if you're really out here trying to be artistic, those are the people that they don't push as much. Those are the people that they don't put in the forefront. So you got to do some of this, especially getting in. When you get in, you got to do the corny shit that they want and make sure you blow up. But once you get your foot in the door, it's on you to show your artistic side. It's on you to show your artistic side, and then you can fight back. But until you get in there, you really can't do much about it. And they gonna fight against that the whole time. It's like, you just look at a nigga like J. Cole. J. Cole got in, finally kicked the door, and got his fan base and said, you know what? I don't want to wear chains no more. I want to rap about this. I want to rap about that. And he's been successful in doing that. But first, you got to get to a level where you can show, hey, yo, you can throw your dick on the table and niggas can't say nothing to you. You feel me? You got to get to that label first. You got to get to that point first.
Because sometimes when people reach the mountaintop, they lose a bit of orientation and motivation sometimes. And, you know, there's other temptations. Now you got a bit of money, so you don't need to be, the hunger's slightly different.
Nah, love it. Like, I think for me, always wanting to be the best rapper, always wanting to say the sickest things, the things that people are like, wow, how did you get to that? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so that never left me. So like, there was always freestyles, there was always, you know, always raps, always verses, you know, collaborations. Like, at the time, like, my manager, Zion used to say to me, like, he used to be like, bro, sometimes you gotta make something make sense. These people are asking you for a feature, they want to pay you 20 bags a verse or 10 bags a verse.
I'm doing that, by the way.
saying no, and your brethren round the corner is rapping, you're giving them
a free verse. You're bugging.
I'm not saying don't do the verse for free, but I'm saying,
nah, you gotta take that 20 bags.
That make that verse make sense as well. So it's like also as well navigation and just being like, oh yeah, you're right, kind of thing, and just some things work well for positioning. Do you know what I mean? As well, but just
facts,
always,
Red Tiger.
just always
There is no love below.
Artists, man, just always wanting to have the best album. I think that's
if they aren't already
something that's
outcasts.
never left me, and I think
It's a
if
fact.
that does leave you as an artist, that's probably when it's like, you know, like when you see Mike Tyson in the ring at the end, and he's fighting some guy you haven't heard of, and he's just mashing him up, and you're just like, Mike, man. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, Mike 5 years ago, you would have finished him, but it's like, Mike's not Mike. Do you get what I'm saying? Mike ain't got that. You don't love it anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? The love's gone. You can see it in his eyes, and I feel like if that happens to you as a musician,
I hear you, Estacio.
It's not good.
Not many, though.
Mess up your legacy, man. Like,
One of the things that's always made you stand out, even when I listen to your Fire in the Booth, and I listen to all of them.
First of all, Fire in the Booth.
I actually played one last night to my girlfriend. So Rich is coming to listen to them. I played the one you did with, is it Avellino?
Avellino, yeah.
Avellino, yeah.
How the fuck you don't know who that is?
Is the
Avellino.
subject matter of what you write about isn't about buying Rolexes and fast cars. Now, as a young black man myself, I tend to feel a sense of disappointment when I go on Instagram and I see like the new school of like hip hop artists all putting their hands in and showing their rollies, because for me, it's like leading our people astray.
I hate niggas like that. Bro, no. Stop hating. Let niggas do what they want to do. I could feel you with a difference of opinion, saying that's not how you want to get down and how you would do it. But don't knock a nigga for doing it. All right, let me go.
Because I would like them to show their investment portfolio or the equity they have in businesses and stuff, because, like, you know, what's your stance on that? I actually was going to put some stuff on my story the other day because I don't want to name names because it's not about individuals, it's about a culture. I saw some rappers that actually follow me, some big hip-hop UK rappers that follow me, all like showing off the material things, and it really disappoints me because I know there's...
I hate hearing him say the word disappoint. Like, who cares if it disappoints you? It ain't for you. And don't get it twisted, I still am a firm believer that they should have investment portfolios and all that good shit. But don't tell niggas how to act with their money. Like, who are you to tell me how to act with my money, bro? Like, let niggas do what they want to do. Not that big of a fan if he doesn't know Avellino. Word, I think you should know who that is. I'm a nigga that just heard Wrecth for the first time last year, and I know who the fuck Avellino is for sure. Like, I definitely do. So,
thousands.
anyway.
In this case, there's 800,000 people that follow this guy, and they're now gonna aspire to buy Gucci before they invest their money or put it away. What's your thoughts on this?
I think we've growing up.
Let's see what you say.
We were so like
Correct him.
by the American rap culture, and we'd always seen them have things, have jewelry, have all these things and whatever. And I think even myself, at a point, for me, that was like a trophy or a measure of success. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like the Rolex was a measure of success. And I think like I've heard you say yourself as well, it's like once you get it, it's like, doesn't really make you feel
Inside.
it doesn't really give you nothing like that. And I think we haven't had the luxury of information. And I think information comes from people who look like you and people who have been through it, had success, and are able to tell you. So now I'm
People that look like you look like us. I don't know about this other nigga across from you.
in that position. I'm able to talk to an 18-year-old and be like, yeah, man, you can get that, but at the same time, make sure you've got that.
Exactly. Yeah, you can get that and do that. Don't just hate. Okay.
One of the dumbest things I'd ever done in my life, I don't think I've said this anyway, is, so obviously when I, out of my mum's, got a council flat, bro, when I signed my deal, I left my house. I left the whole house and just left the council house, just left it. But people at the time were saying to me, yo, man, buy it. Like, why don't you buy it? And I'm like, I'm not going to live here. Like, it was in Tottenham. I'm like, I'm not going to live here. Do you get what I'm saying? And they were like, no, you don't. Just buy it. But the people that were telling me to buy it didn't own a house. So I'm like,
What do you know?
yeah, what do you know? Like, I live in Princess Park Manor. Do you get what I'm saying now? Like, this is gated community. Like, this is way better than this, bro. That was a very stupid mistake. Should have bought that. That would have been my first one on the ladder. Do you get what I'm saying? They give you a discount.
I promise you, I'm trying not to pause it this much. I did see this guy talk about the whole Piers Morgan and he wants to interview it. I think it's fine for you to interview anyone, and if it's gonna put money in his pocket, I don't care. I don't like the nigga Piers Morgan because of I don't really have a reason not to like him, but I didn't like the way that he was talking about Meghan Markle. I didn't like that shit. Thought it was corny. But I do feel like you should be able to interview niggas you don't like. Just as long as you ain't out here dick riding. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with that.
Bloody, blah, whatever. But even though I had the information, it wasn't coming from a success story. It wasn't coming from someone that had done it before. Do you get what I'm saying? So now I'm the first one that's like, yo, where you gonna rent? Like, think about what you're doing. Because then even myself, like, I was living in Princess Park Manor forever. And even in there, like, I wasn't ever like thinking about buying property. And they were like, don't you want to buy the one that you're in? I was like, nah, I'm not going to be here forever. Like, in my eyes, property was you buy to live.
And you tie it down.
And you can't move.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? So in my head, I'm thinking, no, I'm going to buy where I'm going to live. But I'm like, I never really understood that, no, you can buy and move and just own it. And then rent it yourself. Do you get what I'm saying? I didn't really understand the principle of that. So I understand. I understand why it happens. I understand why.
Thank you.
We want all these trophies. I get it, but I think it's about people like myself who can now conversate with the younger lot and be like, look, man, like, I get it. It looks nice, but bro, like, this music is Game of Thrones, bro. Music is Game of Thrones.
Facts.
The main character, bro.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? They don't mind doing that. Music is Game of Thrones, bro. You're Michael Jackson on Monday, you're Tito Jackson on Tuesday, bro. Like, and then you can be Michael again by Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's musical chairs, bro. Like, you have to understand, we're not always gonna be number one forever. So just make sure you're buying a foundation for your foundation. Yeah.
When you had, your first big breakthrough moment, at the time, did you, somewhere in your mind, think that this meant that you would be number one forever? Is there part of you that goes, oh, we've done it now, in terms of like, now I know the equation?
Yeah.
A bit of complacency, maybe.
I kind of think, like, the more you understand, because obviously, but at that time, there's a route to get to number one, and it's like your song's launched by Mr. Jam or Annie Mac, and then the pre-order's out, and then you go for playlisting or Radio 1, One Extra, Capital, and there's a route that puts you on the pitch. Do you get what I'm saying? To get it. So there's a route.
Steps,
So, but the problem is, you can't believe in the route more than you believe in the fruit. So you can't think that this route can work with whatever fruit you give it. Do you get what I'm saying? Still has to be an apple, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it still has to be fruitful. It still has to be a record, a sick record. Do you get what I'm saying? So then, you like, we've had some records that I thought, like, there's one or two that I thought, like, the root can carry it. And then when the root don't carry it, you realize, like, nah, this don't work every time. You don't, once again, you don't You don't just
Yeah.
you don't get 10 heads in a row, bro.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? You get tails one time, and then it's how you bounce back from that.
Have you had to talk to me about bouncing back from that then? Because, you know, even as a fan of yours, like I'll play records of yours when they drop, and I'll be like, I'll say to my boys, we got this little chat on WhatsApp. I'll say this one is a fucking like this one is like this one's gonna be right, and then it might not get there, and another one might. You must have that all the time. And how do you manage the expectation of like creating a project, you believing that it's X, Y, and Z? I mean, I do that with these podcasts as well. You just never know like which episode's gonna bang, right? And then putting it out there, and that bit being out of your control. How does that feel? Like, and if you had moments like that where you've created something and put it out there, and you go, what?
You have to understand that that's the side that we're not in control of.
You never could be in control of
Like,
that. What goes don't have nothing to do with you.
just make it for you. Make it for you. Put your best foot forward, but make it for
Hey, Rez, I like ZZ. Hi,
I make a
ZZ.
song that I think is rubbish, but I think everyone's gonna like. Yeah. And I put a song out, everybody likes it, it goes to #1. I now have to perform this song. This song is in my discography. This is in my catalog. Like my great grand.
No, I said I won't pause that much, but yo, that's a fucking fact. How are you a Wretch fan but don't know Av? I don't understand that, and I'm new to Yasin. Somebody explain that shit to me. Somebody explain that shit to me. That shit sounds all the way off. I just listened to this today. Mad you're watching that. Watching it. Oh, bro, my bad, bro. I've been wanting to see this shit, and I thought it would make sense if I'm gonna watch it to watch it with y'all. So,
Kids are gonna hear this song. So you
press this button,
I've
dirtbag.
had a conversation.
ZZ, Lord have mercy.
That's gonna be their representation of their great grandfather. Be proud of your art, man. Do you get what I'm saying? Be proud of it. So for me, it's like
It don't matter which
I
one
put my
goes,
blood,
because I fuck with everything.
sweat, tears, and skin in my album. When it comes out, they like it. If they don't like it, what can I can't do anything more than I done, and I put my best foot forward. And I think you have to live by that, man, because you either have the hit that you don't like, or you put out the record that you don't like, and it's not a hit. So now you've got to, now you're wrestling back to get back to where you.
All right, everybody, I need a quick 3 seconds so I can go get something to drink, and we'll be right back. I told you I'd be right back. I know some of y'all didn't believe me. Some of y'all didn't believe me. I told you I'd be right back. Alright.
It was for something you didn't even like anyway. Do you get what I'm saying? Just put your best foot forward, man.
And stay true to yourself.
Yeah, stay true to yourself, man, because this is your legacy. Like me now, I try and look at my.
I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping to get
makes
more
sense to
of
me.
info on the old days of
Seeing my
Wretch
career from the
from
inside.
watching this. I thought that's what I was gonna see.
And I'm like, what navigates me is, will I be happy with this?
I'll do a better interview next time.
So
I'll pick
I
a
make
better
song
interview
today
next
and
time.
I'm listening to the tune and I'm like, will I be happy with this at the end? Yeah, it can work for today then. But if I feel like at the end I might feel like, ooh, I don't think you should have put that one out. It's not worth it.
Then don't put it out.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it, bro. All you have, what we got? How many? We get 80 years maybe now. Whatever.
No.
Like your legacy can triple that, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Like have the right one. Have the right one. You're in control of that. That's what you are in control of.
And you
Jam.
had a taste of
Message.
the empty nature of like fame and like people writing about you every single second and people running up and fawning and all this stuff. You've tasted that. So what have you learned about what that means being on Dragon's Den now, I get it a little bit more. So I get people coming up to me and stuff, and I'm in the early stages of like figuring out what it means to, you know,
I will
Daily
edge.
Mail reporters standing outside the house here and taking photos of me and my girlfriend when we walk out, and I'm trying to understand what this attention means. Is it something I can use? Does it make me feel good? What is it?
It didn't make me feel good, man. I didn't. That's one thing I've always wanted to be in the shadows. Like I've always not wanted that part of it. Some people understand how to use it though. Do you get what I'm saying? Because say for example you're designing clothing, and it's like every time they shoot you, they're putting it in a magazine. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you're being mass exposed, and your clothing's being mass exposed. But it's like if you don't wish for that, if you don't desire for that, then it's like I feel like it was useless for me being
Empty.
in the front of certain magazines for nothing, like nothing artistic. Do you get what I mean? And I know people say like any publicity is good publicity.
Exposure, nigga.
Sometimes you can just be famous for nothing, and no one wants to be the guy that's like the most famous person in the world and no money. Do you know what I mean? Or like not, and I don't say money like to be rich. I just mean like everyone knows who you are, and everywhere you're walking, you're stopping and having a conversation, taking a picture, taking this, taking that, taking that. But like, the thing's not in order. Like, you're not gonna feel good being that person. So like, I never really liked it, man. I never liked it, man. I was the one. I was hiding from the patch, man, all the time.
In your come up, did you ever experience what they call like imposter syndrome? Walking into rooms and feeling like, what the fuck am I doing here? Or being in situations and going like, I don't know if I deserve this. That voice inside.
For a short period of time. But you know who made me overcome that? Richard Antu. Like, he passed away, but he's such a champion.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
I said that in the chat.
Any meeting, fearlessly. Like, you could be sitting down with the head of HMV, and he's going to tell them, yeah, you need to take 20,000 of our CDs and da-da-da-da-da, and you're just like, rah, like, you're just, like, he made me feel like, you're you, bro. Like, you're gold. You're the gold as well, you know. You're gold, bro. Like, don't now walk
And
into
those
that
motherfuckers that make you feel like that
everything in
are
there is
fucking
gold.
special,
Silver.
bro. Keep them in your
gold,
circle.
gold. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think being around him, and then that dripped down to my manager Zion as well, and he's got that thing as well where, bro, we were having like, I remember we done a thing with Lucozade where they put us on like,
I still need a drink of Lucozade. Who want to send me a Lucozade so I can see what that's like? I keep hearing about it.
yeah, what do you want to put on the bottles? Like, yeah, man, we want to put our estate on the, but I'm thinking they're gonna say no, but they're like, yeah, that would be sick. Like, yeah, picture of our estate, yeah, and what else? Yeah, man, and this and that, and I realized, I was like, you can get the things that you think you can't get, you can get. Like, you are the gold as well. There's a reason why Lucas,
You're in that room. There's a reason you're in that room.
And it's like some
No,
people think
I've
it's
never
like,
seen a
they're
Lucozade
so
in my
big,
life.
They don't, but they need, it's a two-way thing. It's a two-way street. So
In person. I seen it in
for a
your
short
shit.
period of time I did, but then like Zion, Richard, Twin, like they just made me understand the importance of like
Knowing your worth.
knowing your worth and just being fearless, man. Just walking into any room as me, like and like I did feel that as well at certain times, because obviously now we see the festival lineups like Wireless and all that. Like you see Miss Banks, you see Steph London, you see Get, you see Gigs, you see so many names.
I never checked Amazon for that.
You see Tiny, you might see Chick, you see Wretch. Do you get what I'm saying? It was like, or certain festivals, I'm the only representative of this genre. So it's like, when you're stepping into that, like then you're feeling like, if I mess up, like if I even forget one line of my lyric, they ain't booking no one next year. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, then you've got this thing where it's like the fight song where you're fighting for the scene. You know what I mean? And you got to wear it like a badge of honor. I remember like...
Wait, y'all don't got Gatorade?
And like, the guy who...
That's crazy.
The tent, like standing on the side. And, like, I can't remember what this was.
That's
standing on the
crazy.
side, like, just asking me bare questions. Like, why do you have two drummers?
That's crazy.
Bro, I've got electronic sounds on my album. He plays electric, he plays acoustic. Like, so the music's gonna sound exactly like the record.
Thank you for the follow, my guy.
City stage up like this. How come? Like, so many questions that I don't feel like you was asking anyone else. You just wanted to check if we knew what we was doing.
Did you hear about this new Twitch drama regarding Jenna Toes? You should react to it. I don't even know who the fuck Jenna Toes is, nigga. 100,000%. I don't know who that is. But I'll look into it.
And at that point, to be fair, no, everyone's shooting in the dark. Do you get what I'm saying? We're all guessing, bro. At that point, we're all shooting.
I was about to say,
Just
yeah,
can't be the
Gatorade,
can't be
you
the
got
one
it.
that gets hit. That was the theory. So yeah, we just felt our way through. But them times I did used to feel a little thing, but then afterwards I was like, nah, man, I'm coming. Like we're coming. We've got stuff to add. I've got hit records as well. They want to hear us, and the festival lineup needs to be more diverse. Like we're 10 years after that now, and the festival lineup is more diverse. But I do feel like at that time, if Tiny Temple wasn't turning up, or Chip wasn't doing what he had to do, even Professor Green wasn't doing what he had to do. Do you know what I mean? Like Tinchi had to do what he had. We had to get it right, and we had to. Or I don't know if we'd be here today.
When you come from the estate like you do, and you end up in these like boardrooms and these fancy meetings with these, you know,
With you.
white men in suits. What I see in a lot of like young people from those kind of backgrounds is they kind of walk through life with a bit of
This nigga pulled up with the corniest joke ever on Twitch. And just for that. That was corny. But I'll let you have your 5 seconds of whatever. That was corny. What?
expectation that the cards are stacked against them.
Yeah.
And I worry sometimes that belief, whether it's true or false, it is often true. The belief that the cards are stacked against you can be equally or more harmful than the cards actually being stacked against you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the belief of the cards being stacked against you can be the deterrent of you even playing the game.
Exactly.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to deal now. Like, don't deal me
Yeah,
in. Like,
'cause
there's
I'm
no
gonna
point.
lose. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going to
yeah.
lose anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know what that comes from. But I was fortunate, man. Like, I can't say it enough. Like, Richard Antwi, like, just a G. He was a lawyer. He was a lawyer as well, a music lawyer. So he understood that side as well. So he could speak whatever language. Do you get what I'm saying? At any table, he could, like, if they started talking about splits and points, he can go there with you. Do you get what I'm saying? So when you're walking into a game with that, bro, you're fearless, bro.
Quick one, as you might know.
No word of a lie, I don't like the word coconut though, but I think it's mad offensive. Alright, we have 20 minutes left of this.
A mate of mine was always
I'd be
telling me that
mad. Coconut,
Going
mad
into this
disrespectful.
CBD space, and I'm like, what's CBD? And he's like, it's basically a natural alternative to medicine. So I'm like, okay. He's like, it's gonna be the future. Like, it's gonna be the future. So I'm like, all right, cool. What does it do? He's like, well, people come in, cancer patients, people with MS, people with fibromyalgia, people with lupus, people that can't sleep, people that suffer with severe headaches. Okay, and what does it do for them? I wouldn't say it cures them, but it helps them manage their illness. So I'm like, all right, cool. So to me, this sounds like paracetamol. Because I don't believe in paracetamol, it don't work on me. So I don't take it. I haven't taken it for years. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go and link him and I get all the products. Yeah, I get all the products. And I give it out to family members.
So
And I
on
just
the
have them around,
fridge
like, can you just try it and just tell
has
me what
this blue
happened?
paper
It's
that says
absolutely nothing to do with me. Just
T-shirt,
honest
you know
feedback.
what I'm talking about? You
I have a
can
headache, you can't sleep,
use the camera and
anxiety,
get the
whatever.
barcode
Giving
and
it out,
pay
giving it
for
out.
it. Do you mind doing that for me? 'Cause it's
Every-
Yep, in a little bit. I'm in the middle of this.
Do I have to remind you or
I
no?
couldn't sleep.
No, I
I'm
got
not
it.
sleeping.
Okay, thank you.
Or
Bye.
the times when I was having joint problems, I'm rubbing the cream on and I'm okay. So I'm like, all right, cool. I haven't told these people this might potentially be anything to do with me. They're just being honest.
Nigga said all the disrespect
What do
was
I have
intended.
I can personally try. So I'm like, all right, I can't sleep.
No, you can say whatever you want, bro. I'm just saying that's highly offensive. Highly offensive. Bro, you didn't mute? Alright, well, you heard wifey. It is what it is.
So let's try some of the O's. Try some of the O's where I'm sleeping. I'm like, all right, this is a real thing. So then, like, I was like, cool, let me have a conversation with, like, the actual founder, yeah? A guy called Paul, who's absolute genius in this realm. And I'm like, what's your story? He's like, well, chronic arthritis, and he literally like has a cannabis background, but he was using CBD.
Yeah, I fuck with CBD like that. I fuck with the CBD oil whenever I'm like he was just saying. I woke up with like my neck all fucked up through the CBD oil, and it felt better. I don't know if I'm making that shit up in my mind.
I haven't
but
put a lot of time.
It did feel better
into a lot of other things other than music, and I've always been waiting to find something. But I wanted to find like
I got the creams and shit.
Clothing route, like I want something that reflects who I am. I'm an individual who likes to help people. Do you know what I'm saying? Likes a people's person. And I honestly think like this is like the future of medicine, man. Like, and so hopefully, you know, it will go down the route where it will become prescribed. Like if you look at, and for us, it's like it's about.
I don't know who Jermaine Jennings is at all.
We're hoping to
Can't
have
lie.
like between 50 and 75 stores within the next 3 years.
Wow.
And hopefully if it goes to the point where it
Shit is expensive here too. It's expensive.
Like the thing is with the chemist, you go there and you're like, oh, I've got a headache. What can I take? They recommend you a thing. Or I've got itch on my back. You can actually speak to someone and they can tell you, oh, no, you're better off getting that cream. That works better for you. Cool. Like we want to be that kind of version for people that come in, because it's a two-way educational street, because people are coming in, a lot of people coming with MS, a lot of people coming with cancer, and I'm like, as much as everyone in the stores are equipped to tell them, there's still new things to learn, and there's like still new ideas for different products, and it's just a new space that, you know, I get to put some focus in, and it's something that I think is honestly going to benefit people as well.
And we've tried a lot of the products, they're all amazing. This one actually tastes amazing as well. The grapes written mint drink, and we went down there earlier, we got some coffees and some of the oils and stuff, the creams that I'm going to try as well. Super interesting. The other thing that you're involved in, which I think is a fairly new thing, is the Def Jam.
I want to hear about this.
So you're now the creative director there?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
That is just...
It's nice.
Yeah, I'm working with such a cold bunch, man. Like everyone's extremely talented, man. And I think for me, more than anything, like it's sick to be on this side, because understanding it from the other side, like being the artist coming into an office or coming into an environment, I'm gonna know the answers to a lot of the things what they're asking, because I've been through it as well. So always on my come up, like I've always worked or had long conversations with artists that are coming, like whether it be Stormzy or it be Avelino or it be Young and Clapton, whoever it may be. And I think like there was never like a role or a title or nothing. And it's like you're not doing that for money or for finance. Like you literally want to see the game nourish. You want to see everyone blossom. So it's like the game's got bigger, and I think now it's about showing that we're able to work in the infrastructure and add value. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's valuable our artists being inside, to be able to speak to artists. Do you know what I'm saying? To be able to create, to be able to implement ideas.
They'll take that information differently, because they don't think
Like
you're
I
going to
say,
be
like,
jerking
we
them.
jumped on a train
Pause.
at the beginning of 2011, and it just moved. And then I had to meet a tour manager, and I had to meet a booking agent, and all these things. And it's like, I can literally talk you through everything step by step. And that's like, if we're signing artists at ground zero, sometimes there's artists that are already put a paper, he's already here, already established, he signed to us. But it's like just having artistic conversations with artists. Do you know what I mean? And I think
That conversation between Potter and Wretch should go this way. Yo, Potter, what up? Wretch, what up? Yo, Wretch, I got this song for you to get on. I need to hear this Potter Paper Wretch song. Yo, what's going on? I need to hear it on music. I need to hear the track. I need to hear the fucking track. I need to hear the fucking track. I need to hear the fucking track. That's how it should go. Tell Wretch to get on the goddamn song with you, Potter.
I think it's beautiful, man. I wake up and think art, wake up and think creative. So to be able to be in a space where I'm able to do that with artists that I love and respect, with people that I love and respect.
Yeah, I was skeptical about that CBD shit for a minute, though.
Yeah.
But then, like I said, I woke up with my neck hurting, put that shit on. I was like, ooh.
No winning.
What's the situation there? You in a relationship? You dating?
Yeah, in a relationship, not married.
Have you struggled with relationships, or have you found it being and a fairly obsessive person. Because throughout your story, I saw this word hunger over and over again. Even when other people described you.
Who gives a fuck, bro?
Actually, on that kitchen table, getting annoyed at you. You know.
Yeah, I think I'm understanding balance a lot more. I think that's come with maturity.
Oh, I must have
And
missed
that's come
something.
with age. Like balance is important. I had no
Whoever
idea
moms is going through anything, prayers. I missed it.
about making this happen.
Oh,
I don't
Aaliyah,
know if
love
it's
and prayers
because
to Mom Dukes.
it happened. Do you get what I'm saying? And maybe if it doesn't happen, maybe we don't get this version of me where I'm more understanding that you've got to divide time. I think also what was a big eye opener for me, like once again talking about jumping on that train, from like 2011 to 2014, 15, bro, certain times my family's having conversations, and I'm like, what? When was that? And they're like, oh no, that was when you was.
You was off
Yeah,
doing
it's
that.
like I was dead for 4 years, or I was just off the grid. It's like it's never ever sat well with me. Do you know what I'm saying? So now
I've always
I
had
make
Stellas, bro.
a conscious effort, conscious decision to be like, as someone who is the backbone and the head of the family, to be it. Do you get what I'm saying? Because there's two types of men that head the family, and it's one that everyone's financially okay, and when if there's any red letters, but then there's the one that's able to do that but is also there as well, like an hour on the phone, or let's go and sit down and talk for 4 hours, is as powerful as someone who can make a bill vanish. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think in 2011 I was more the other guy. I'll sort it out. I get phone this person that can sort it out. Phone like someone can sort it out. I'm sorting it out. But it was like I'm missing, and it doesn't make me feel good. I'm like, I miss graduations, and do you know what I mean? Like so much things that because you're busy, they might not invite you to now. Because we asked you to come last week, but you couldn't make it. Like I was genuinely out of the country, but maybe I could have made that one, but you didn't ask. Do you know what I mean? So it's like doesn't feel good, man.
I think I'm probably red letter guy now.
It's horrible, bro.
Yeah, and not giving enough attention to family in that regard. Like,
How do you balance it? Or you
with my family, it's a really difficult thing. They kind of live all over the place as well, so they don't all live in one place. So really, like what I do is I try and bring everyone together for Christmas, and I fund the situation at Christmas. But I know I'm not doing a good enough job, and it's something I'm gonna work on. Fortunately, I met a young lady who is very unnegotiable about balance. And like I genuinely feel that if I don't, I've got to make sure my terminology is correct here, because sometimes when people describe their relationships, especially people that are really obsessive, they start to use word 15.
I don't care what he got to say, to be 100% honest.
that balance as well, like you know, at the time when I had my daughter, and but we separated, and it was like it.
Estasio, or you can have him on a track where he's talking about experiences.
You know what I'm saying?
Potter
It's
does
like,
talk about
yeah,
life
my
experiences.
mum said like,
It doesn't always have to be that trap shit.
I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, of course I used to live there. You used to wake up and come to me, and I remember. Then I'm like, I need to overextend to build this relationship, because my son has that. We've had that waking up, him going to sleep, waking up, seeing me. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just them little things where it's like, the kids will come over and I'll be like, we're going to do this. And my daughter might say to me, I have to ask my mum. So it's like her concept of a dad was probably more like an uncle. Do you get what I mean? Like, to your uncle, you say, no, I got to ask my mum, but not to your dad. But it's like she had to, I was like, no, me and mum were on the same level. Do you know what I'm saying? But because she's not seeing me.
Yes, I listen to all the training day one, bro.
Like, or waking up to.
That's not on YouTube?
You know what I mean?
Word? I never put it on YouTube? Crazy.
I had to, like, it was so important that we get here, and we're here now. But it takes time to rebuild, man. So it's better you build it than have to rebuild as well.
What if, you know when you were shot on those CDs and trying to get people to buy those first 1,000 CDs from your mixtape line, from my mixtape, what if it just hadn't worked out? Has that ever crossed your mind? What if just, what if it didn't work out?
It had to. Like, the plan B was revert back to plan A. Anytime you felt like you needed to remotely think about doing something else, it was revert back to plan A. It was always going to happen.
There's a lot of people that think that, and
Yeah.
it just doesn't work out. You know, like,
Yeah.
does that haunt you a little bit? Just
I think
I got you,
weed
bro.
was too much.
I'm gonna try to find it.
Weed was too. I became too good at it. Like the obsession made me better, made me more hungry. I just became a monster, man. I'm like, no one can rap like I rap. Do you get what I'm saying? But that's because I'm listening to everyone rapping, and I'm like, all right, cool. How, bro? This is what they're doing, yeah? Like, all right, triple rhymes, cool. I'll do quadruple. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I was always trying to challenge, trying to push, and like, when you've been rapping, like when your year group is like Gets or Kano or or Gigs or whatever like that, that's like
That's a crazy
man's
group.
age they're my age mates. So it's like when you're listening to Gets and he's doing that, you're like, all right, cool. I can't even flip a second. You know what I'm saying? I've got to push. I can't.
That's a crazy class.
I don't see any. The story wasn't ending any other way, or like the story wasn't having any other middle.
And what would you say to musicians that are now coming up in this world of TikTok and what do you think they need to make it and to follow in your footsteps?
I mean,
now that you also know the industry as well and the inner mechanics of that.
because TikTok is powerful now, man.
Mm.
It's the new tastemaker. It's the new
Discovery
library.
platform.
Yeah, it's the new discovery, man. And it's like, so remember when I said that there was a formula, and it was like if that DJ plays it first on Thursday, and then TikTok is a part of that formula now. Like you put a song on that
True.
sounds a certain way, it gets a certain amount of views, and that's an indicator to record labels.
And it's global. TikTok is global, whether you like it or not.
On the playing field of the hit playing
They could
field,
be doing dances to your shit
it's become that.
all over the
And I
globe.
think you can use it to your advantage, but I guess once again, like the part we are in control of is the song, is the quality. Like always make sure the quality is top notch, regardless, because all the things, everything else will change, bro. Like Michael Jackson put out tapes, vinyls. Now Chris Brown goes on streaming platforms. Do you get what I'm saying? And I launched records on radio first. Now they launch records on TikTok. Like, everything will change, bro. But the quality will always remain. You can't skip it. You can't skip leg day, man.
We have a closing tradition on this podcast where the last guest writes a question for the next guest. And they don't know who they're writing it for. They always ask, but we never tell them. So they've actually written 2 questions, which is interesting. The first question they wrote, I'm going to read them both at the same time, is what for you is a life well lived? And then they wrote, how do you make the most of this moment? So what for you is a life well lived, and how do you make the most of this moment?
A life well lived is waking up every day and having multiple reasons to smile. And within that, making multiple people smile. I always think like life is a record. So on a record, put the needle on, and it comes inwards. So it's coming inwards, it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and it gets to the end in the middle and it stops. And my thing is like, what song are you listening to while your time span is shortening? Is it something that's full of purpose, something that's making you smile, and something that's energizing other people? And for me, it's like I want to be able to be a positive soundtrack for key moments in other people's lives as well. So a life well lived is me being happy.
Smart nigga, bro.
And being able to also add a soundtrack to people's happiest moments.
Dope answer. And the second question was, how do you make the most of this moment?
How do I make the most of this moment? Living it, man. Living it. And I think appreciate it as well. I think I say living it because it's easy to be on that train. I keep going back to that train. It's easy to be on that train and just to keep going. But
And not appreciate shit.
for me, we don't meet anyone for no reason. there's no meaningless conversation. You know, there's always something to take from a conversation that you thought, what the hell is that about? Do you know what I'm saying? Because we're all seeds, bro. We're all seeds that grow into fruit, bro. We're all seeds. So if you're having a conversation, someone's planting something that can become fruitful later on.
Mm.
So to make the best of this moment, just live in it. Do you know what I mean? Don't just be in it, live in it, man. Be present.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
man.
you. It's been such a great
Thank you.
conversation, and it's a real privilege to meet. Like I said, I've been listening to you for a long time, and I'm still a mega fan. Upon reflection, I think is probably going to be in my little Spotify rap thing as some of the most played song album that I think you've released recently. And was that 2019?
Yeah,
It feels like it was. It feels like it was more recent than that. For some reason, maybe that's because I still spin it. But
time's moving. We lost 2 years as well, innit?
no, I genuinely say this. I have this debate with one of my long-standing best friends, and I genuinely think lyrically, in terms of subject matter and art, I think you're the GOAT in our country. So,
Okay, thank you.
and I think a lot of people share that opinion. So it's a huge honor to have you here and to share your wisdom.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, man.
Thank you.
All right, that was something. That was something. I would like to play a Wrecth song right at this moment, but then YouTube will take this shit down and block it. So with that being said, I'm just gonna end it right here. Everybody pull up. I am off on Friday. I will be having a early stream, where we're gonna do some shit where unsigned artists are coming up to just rap. If you're interested in that, that shit should be during the day, early for y'all, like 3 o'clock your time Friday. And then of course at 6, because I'm off, we will go straight to my Twitch channel and have Friday Night Live, where we listen to all the music y'all niggas want me to listen to, you heard? So without any further delay, get on with your motherfucking day. Respected. I'm out. Shout out to all of y'all. Edge and Solo Beach, she ended Lady Fury's career. Who are you talking about? Do you remember Shiesty's Moderation? Best diss track to come out of the UK. What? I might have to hear that. Looking forward to a Risky Roads watch along. We'll definitely do that. Why not? It seems like y'all enjoyed this. I enjoyed it. Next time, I definitely will pick a different interview platform. This was a little more, let me be nice. This felt bland. It was unseasoned. I like my food a little more seasoned. You heard? I like my food a little more seasoned. I would stay up and do something else, but I'm pretty sure it's mad late for y'all, so fuck it. I'm gonna be out of here. Have a good one, you heard? We out of here. Thanks, Team GDG. You already know the fucking vibes.